Hey everybody, I wanted to talk about why you don't actually need to be considered good at sales to make, $10,000 or more in a month. I'll be talking about this in both my Instagram group, my Facebook group and on here. So if you see me looking back and forth, you already know why. Let me just make sure I am in both and then I'll dive right in. Let's see here. Perfect. How are you guys doing? So the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I feel like I see so many people, the reason that they think that they're not able to hit those 10K months is because they think that they need to be good at sales. And I have never been someone that I would consider good at sales because I am never trying to convince someone to do business with me. I don't know anything about sales psychology, and I don't feel like as a business owner, you need to know those things. So I think most entrepreneurs feel like I have to be good at sales to hit a 5-figure month. I know that you see so many other entrepreneurs in the space making a lot of money, and those experts are typically salespeople, right? They're really good at sales. They talk about sales all the time. They know they're great at sales. They boast about being good at sales. They know sales psychology. They're aggressive promoters. And you think that that is what it takes to actually make those bigger sales. But this is not necessarily true. I think this is wrong because what people actually typically mean by I'm not good at sales is I'm not good at convincing people to buy from me, because you don't want to have to do that, right? I don't like doing it. So what you mean when you think I'm not good at sales is you don't feel comfortable, or you don't like having to convince people to do business with you. You don't know what to say to convince them to do business with you, right? I think when someone's saying I'm not good at sales, what they also mean is I don't want to feel like I'm manipulating people into doing business with me. And I think what you also mean is I don't like feeling awkward when I say the price. I'm also going to say that it's going to be what I'm about to say though, is going to be like the complete opposite of what I think a lot of coaches are telling you in the online space. And I'm only speaking from experience and from the experience of my clients that I work with, because most of my clients feel like they're not good at sales either, and they don't want to become salespeople. And so what I'm going to say in a few minutes is literally the opposite of what everyone else is saying. I'm just pointing that out. But you really don't need to be good at sales to have a $10,000 month. You just have to have a brand reputation for getting results. You need to build enough trust through connection and about your expertise. And you need to point out the value of what you have. It needs to be clear, right? It needs to be clear through your content and your messaging so that you can sell your services at like a premium price, especially if it's something that you're offering that costs, $3,000 or more, which has been the premise of all of my content, because I feel like most people who are trying to have those $10,000 months are solo entrepreneurs. So you cannot work with a lot of people. So your price point needs to be pretty elevated for you to work with less people, but actually still hit your income goals. And you're thinking that also requires you to be good at sales. But here is where I see the gaps in what we're all thinking. You think you have to make, I don't think people realize that you basically have to make 2 sales every single time you're trying to sell something. I'm going to say that again. Every time you're trying to sell something at a high ticket or premium price point, you have to actually make 2 sales every time. The first sale that you actually have to make is that you are an expert. You need to sell who you are as a brand. That's the first sale that you have to make. Telling people that you're an expert doesn't require you to convince them to buy your thing. You need to convince them that you actually know what the hell you're talking about. That's the first sale that you have to make when you're trying to sell your premium service that you have to offer. And the second sale that you have to make is on the value. It's never the price. You're not trying to sell the price. You're trying to sell the value of what you have to offer. So for those of you who just joined, you don't need to be an expert salesperson, but you do have to sell yourself on 2 things: that you're an expert at what you do, that you can get results, and sell the value of what it is that you're offering. You're never selling the price, you're selling the value behind the offer. So when you skip important branding details like brand visibility, like showing up and actually showing your face, showing up on video, when you skip those types of things, when you skip making sure that you have a cohesive brand identity that people can remember, when you skip things like identifying your brand voice and actually being authentic to who you are when you're showing up online, when you don't build a brand reputation, you are missing a big part of your sale, because I just told you guys that there are 2 sales that you have to make, and one of them is on your expertise. And one of them is who you are as a brand, right? The reasons that really good salespeople with crappy brandings, I know right now you're thinking, well, I know a salesperson who doesn't even have a website. Their stuff looks really shitty. The reason that people can have really crappy branding and still make sales is because they're great at convincing people to do business with them. You know, you've seen the people who make you feel crappy for not buying their thing, and they make you feel so down on yourself that you end up buying the thing because they've guilted you into feeling like crap, and you're like, I have to buy this thing. I don't ever want, I don't know about you, but I don't want to feel like crap when I'm buying something, and I don't want to feel manipulated into a sale. And if I don't want to feel that way, I don't want to make my potential clients feel that way either, right? One of the things that I hate the most is when salespeople pretend to like show an interest in your business and you as a person. They slide into your DMs and like, why did you start your business? You don't care about why I started my business. You're trying to sell me something. I never want to be that kind of person. I don't ever want to also, I never want to have to convince someone to do business with me. I'm actually in the business of helping to make a difference and making an impact on other business owners. And I'm assuming that a lot of you feel that way too. You don't want to be a salesperson. The reason that a lot of you clicked on this is because, yeah, how do I make sales without being an expert salesperson? So what you really need to be doing to have that 10K month, which is something that I had done consistently when I was selling my offers and actually looking for a business for months, right? I started making 5-figure months in June of 2020, right? What it really takes to hit those ambitious monthly income goals is a premium offer, because you want to have something that has a big price tag with big value, big impact, so that you don't have to sell a lot of it to hit that kind of income goal. A lot of times we're trying to get volume, which we really, instead of needing volume, we needed value. And if we had something that we were offering that had enough value, then people would pay a higher price point and we would hit those income goals faster. So instead of me selling a bunch of things that were $1,000, well, I would need 10 clients to sell something at $1,000 and hit my income goal of $10,000 a month. But if I was selling something at $5,000 and I only needed 2 clients, and 2 clients is realistic for my business. So I need to create something valuable enough at that price point. I need it to be valuable enough to make a big enough impact that somebody would invest in it. Does that make sense? You also need a cohesive professional brand identity. I'm sorry, skipping that means you have to now convince people to do business with you, because when you have shitty branding, people think you're not a professional company. And they're going to be looking deep at, you know, the background of your business. Like, let me see this website. Oh, that website doesn't look like a legitimate website. This person can't be an honest person, or this cannot be a professional company. You have to now work harder to convince them to do business with you, which we've already established. We're not in the business of convincing, right? And if you're not in the business of convincing, then you need your brand identity and what you have set up needs to actually be professional and appear that you know what you're talking about and you have a legitimate business. And you need to have, lastly, brand authority. So I'm giving you 3 things that you actually need to sell your services and hit those income goals of $10,000 or more in a month without being an expert salesperson. You need to, first of all, have a premium offer, because you can hit that high income goal with something that you need less clients for. You need a cohesive and professional brand identity, because if you want to convince people just without doing anything, but you want them to come in believing in you as a business, then you need to have your brand together. And then lastly, you need brand authority in the area that you're selling your service in. You also need a premium setup to make it all run smoothly. With this in place, 90% of your sale is done before you've even had a sales conversation. I don't care how you had that sales conversation, whether it's in the DMs or it's through a sales call. You want 90% of it to be done before you've gotten to that point. And that means you're not convincing them that you are an expert. You're not convincing them that you can get results. What you're doing is having a conversation with them to make sure that the results that you can provide with your offer aligns with their business needs and their goals. Does that make sense? Y'all are super duper quiet, but I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to say that again. I don't want you to have to convince people. So in order to not convince people and to not have to be an expert salesperson to convince people to do business with you, then what you need to do to hit a $10,000 a month without having to work harder is, first of all, a premium offer that's $3,000 or more. That means you need less people. In order to sell that and have it sell for you is cohesive brand identity. Again, if you're not an expert salesperson, if you're not someone who wants to convince people, then your business needs to already look professional when someone's coming in and looking at you. You need to have brand authority in the area that you're selling the service in, and you need to have a premium experience and a setup so that when people get to you, it's running smoothly. Again, that looks to professionalism, and that's how people judge your business. With that in place, sales are 90% of the way done before you've even entered into a sales conversation, which is what we want. You don't want to have to convince people to work with you when you show up and have results to back that up. You can back up that promise that you're making, and you have an experience that means that you took pride in your work and you took pride in your business. People will do business with you at a higher price point. So you guys know that I have my revolutionary brand, my revolutionary CEO mastermind. My framework for that mastermind follows the exact steps that I've followed in my own business since September, hit a little over $68,000 in sales for my business without me being an expert salesman. Let's see here. Femme Collective says, yes, 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 thank you. Brand authority is so important. If it feels slimy to try to force a sale that can be made when you show up authentically. Exactly. I don't want anybody, I don't like feeling that way. And I've never been the kind of person who, again, wants to convince someone to do business with me. It does feel sleazy. I don't want to have to pretend to like you so that you watch my account and then I sell something to you later. I don't want to pretend to be your friend. I want to actually have a genuine connection. But when you come to me, I want you to believe that I can get you those results because I'm doing a great enough job through my content to show you that I can help you get results. I want to be transparent enough to help you think differently about your business and to help you see the perspective that I'm going to approach helping you reach your goals through, again, my content, through how I'm showing up. And like I said, I've been able to successfully implement that to make $68,000 in my business since September. That's 5 months. In 5 months, I've made $68,000 in my business without being an expert salesperson. I'm never just, again, sliding in DMs, asking people to do business with me. I'm never sliding in DMs, pretending to care about someone's business. People reach out to me. All of the clients that I get typically are reaching out to me, and we're building a connection. I want to make sure that I don't have any questions because I did have someone that submitted a question. This person said, do you need, she said, don't you need to be good at sales when selling on the phone? So I had a question that was submitted. Let me pop it up on the screen here. The question that the person asked was, do you need to be, I think she meant to put good at sales. She said, do you need to be good at sales when selling on the phone? No. When you're getting on a phone call, I actually don't even call my sales call a sales call. I call it a compatibility call or a decision-making call. I want you to start thinking about empowering people to make better decisions for themselves. You, again, are not in the business of convincing people to do business with you. You're in the business of helping people to see a different perspective. And if that perspective and that approach aligns with their business goals and how they want to approach reaching those business goals. If what you're telling them aligns with that goal and you're showing them that this is different from all the other shit that I've tried and it works well for this person or that person's other clients who feel and seem like me, then they will in fact trust to do business with you. So your sales call isn't a sales call, it's for them to make a decision. And how they're gonna make that decision is through a conversation that you're having, which doesn't require you to be excellent at sales, it requires you to be a good listener. My calls are not about me selling my stuff because I should have already done that through my content. I am constantly saying my mastermind has a framework. My framework helps you to sell your services, a signature premium service at $3,000 or more. So if you already have a goal of selling something for $3,000 or more, or you want to have a $10,000 month without overworking, you already kind of know, well, her framework must help me do that. And then I'm going to tell you in another post, here's what my framework covers. So I already tell people all of the things that they need to know. I'm going to say we start in March. I'm going to tell you what features are included. I'm going to tell you how we meet every week. I do all that through my content. My call isn't about me selling that offer. It's about me aligning your goals to what I can do. And if I can help you reach your goals with my framework. And that requires listening. My decision-making calls, my compatibility calls are just about listening to my ideal client, and I take them through a whole journey. Let's talk about your future business goals. What are the goals that you have for the future of your business? Where are you trying to head to? Okay, well, what have you tried in the past? And we start talking about the past. What have you tried in the past that didn't work for you? Because what you're listening to along the way is their future goals. Can I help them get there with my offer? Great, check. Move on to the next thing. What have they tried in the past? Is what they tried in the past exactly what I'm doing, or am I doing something different that's going to help them hit that goal? And I can show them through what we're talking about that, yeah, this is going to be a different approach. And then lastly, where are they at in their business right now? Can you help them get beyond where they are right now and go to that future place that you're telling them that you can do? And if that's the case, they're going to see that for themselves. And that's how you get a sale. It's not that you're telling them and helping walk them through your offer and trying to tell them that they have to take this offer. It's helping them to see for themselves if this is something that they need because of the goals that they have. I hope this is making sense, because this is how you don't have to be an expert salesperson, by actually listening to your ideal client when they get on a call with you and making sure that the business goals that they have or their personal goals that they have actually aligns with what you're promising in your own offer. You are going to open up the opportunity for them to ask you questions about your specific offer. But again, by the time they get to that point, they should know a lot about your business. And there's things that I teach my clients in the mastermind about how to get people to that decision. The application process is really strict. It has a lot of questions that leads them to knowing if they're a good fit. The sales page, the application page actually has a lot of things that leads them to the sale before they've even gotten to that point. They have a benchmark assessment that tells them my entire framework and walks them through the criteria for the framework. That also helps them to see if they need my offer. I do all of those things again before I've gotten on a sales call. So this is what I teach in the mastermind. If you're not doing any of these steps, and that's why you feel like you have to be expert at sales, is because your content, your pre-qualification process isn't lining up the sale for you. It's not about convincing people. It's about helping them to open their eyes and see a brighter future through what it is that you're offering. So doors are open for the mastermind, of course. Applications close next Friday. I can't take applications beyond next Friday. But if you're already sitting here like, I definitely need to be selling services that are $3,000 or more, because the current price point of $1,000 or wherever you are right now isn't really helping you get to that goal unless you have the volume of people. If you don't have a high volume of clients every single month. So think about it this way. If every month you've already consistently only been getting 4 clients, and you have $1,000 price point with a $10,000 income goal, then you will not be getting to your income goal without overworking yourself. So realistically, you need to have a higher price point. That's the first thing, is like noticing, oh, I definitely need a higher price point because my current price point isn't going to help me get to that $10,000 income goal anyway. And if you don't want to have to be good at sales, then your brand has to be in alignment. You have to have brand authority in the space that you're trying to sell this offer within. You have to already be considered a brand authority. And if you don't know what that means, as a brand authority, people need to recognize that you're an expert. You can't say you're the expert. They actually have to believe in the fact that you are an expert. And that's something that other people are saying about you, not what you're saying about yourself. You can say all day that you're an expert, but if people don't believe you, then it doesn't matter, right? So you have to make sure that what you're doing lines you up to look professional and to show people that you are an expert in what it is that you're doing. And then again, you have to have a premium setup. You have to have systems and things running. If things seem like they're unprofessional or not done well, then people are going to be judging that process. They're not going to feel like they should have paid you all this money because they don't feel like it's aligned with the price point. I know when I go to Walmart, I'm not going to get this amazing client experience. They're not going to hand me my bags when I'm checking out. They're not going to, always have the best attitude. But the stores that you go into that actually cost more money when you buy something there, they have the best experience. And why? Because they have to. So I just wanted to kind of have that conversation with you because I don't want you to think that you have to be great at sales to hit those $10,000 months. You really don't. And the things that I kind of lined up for you is exactly all it takes. And I teach all of that in the mastermind. There are only 5 spots available left for the mastermind. And like I said, applications close next Friday because can y'all believe it's almost March? Like it's March next week. We actually start the mastermind on March the 18th. So I can't believe that I'm at the point of having to be like, oh, I have to close applications. It's time. If you have any questions about what I talked about today, first of all, for those of you who are joining late, I will be posting the replay. And if you have questions about the mastermind, or if you're at the point of being ready to sell service to hit income goals of $10,000 to see if your business is lined up for that, if you actually apply for the mastermind, before you even talk with me, you do have a benchmark assessment that walks you through the framework that I do in the mastermind and to see where you have gaps in your business. And if you have enough gaps in your business, then the mastermind is for you, right? Yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. I had a long day. I had a VIP day, my first VIP day, and I have a group coaching call with my program, my other program. So I'm actually about to drop so I can get ready for that call and eat my food. But I wanted to just have this quick conversation because I feel like everyone thinks they have to be experts at sales. And I'm always rolling my eyes like, I am not an expert salesperson. I never want to be. I don't want to be an expert salesperson. I just want to work with people who feel aligned to what I'm doing. And I want to create offers that are actually aligned with my ideal clients' goals. I want them to see that I can help them solve their problems. And I believe I do that through my content, and you can do that too. That's all I wanted to say. Y'all quiet today. I hope this helped. Bye, guys. Bye, Facebook.